So in a previous video, I talked about how I had 200 plus games in my backlog, and if you haven't seen that video, you should check it out. It's actually pretty good. I'm pretty proud of it. So with that in mind, I decided to prioritize those games above all else, while also indulging in some new releases of my choice. So in this video series, I pretty much go over all the games I finished, started, but haven't finished, or just not gonna finish at all. So if you don't mind a long video of a nerd rambling on and on about games he's played, then pull up a seat, get comfy, cause here we go. Also disclaimer, the games that I talk about here will not be full-blown reviews. These will just be my surface level thoughts, pretty much my overall feelings. So maybe one day I'll do a review, but not right now. Alright, first let's talk about the games that I started but haven't finished yet. So first up we got Pal World. Now, I was only able to get about 11 hours of playtime in it, but if I didn't have anything else to play this year, I would definitely be playing this game non-stop. Like, when I found out that this game was accessible on the Steam Deck, my life changed. Like, I was just on my couch playing this on my Steam Deck. Like, it's such a good game. It's a massive time sink. It's so good. I'm not the biggest fan when it comes to like the survival gaming genre like Minecraft or Valheim, but the the pals in this game really make it feel fun and enjoyable. Like they're just extremely helpful, as they not only help in battles but in camps as well. Couple that with the crazy game mechanics and you have yourself a game that honestly has a lot of potential. I'm definitely going to be putting more hours into this game when I have the chance. Next up is Judgment. So I wanted to get a taste of what the Yakuza games would be like, so I decided to boot up Judgment since I bought the game a while back, but never started it. I'm gonna be real, the first 2 chapters are slow, but once you pass that game just picks up right away. But no lie, for some weird reason I keep getting burned out when I start playing this game. Like, I've taken 2 breaks so far. This is actually my 3rd break now since I'm playing Rebirth. But yeah, like I've taken like 3 breaks so far and to play other games, but thankfully every time I come back to it, the experience is always fresh and exciting. Maybe I've reached a part in my life where I can't play one game for too long and gotta have a rotation to keep them things interesting. Like, or honestly, maybe social media has really fucked up my attention span, so now I can't even sit down and enjoy an RPG. Oh no, this is an RPG, but still. But I made it to chapter 8, so let's see if I finish it. Next up is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Bruh, this game is a fuego. I already knew this game would be great, but it honestly exceeded my expectations. Like, from the combat, the characters, the open world, it's just freaking amazing, man. Like, I'm only on chapter 7 so far, and the only reason why I'm still like back at only on chapter 7 is because this world is freaking interesting to explore. Like, I can't help but look around every nook and cranny for things. I think a good chunk of my game time revolves around all the mini games and Queen's Blood, especially Queen's Blood. But I think if there's one thing I'm going to make a comment on, Fort Condor in FF7 Rebirth is whack. Freaking whack. I don't know what happened. Remake, it was so much fun. I think when they took the customization of like your units and stuff from Remake, because you can choose what units you want to have there. When they took that, it just made the game less appealing. But still, like, I played it. It's alright. It's alright. But yeah, legit, I'm gonna be putting a lot more time into this game, especially since Stellar Blade is gonna be coming out soon. Hopefully I get through a good chunk of it before Stellar Blade comes out. So now let's talk about the games I did finish. First up, we got Doom 2016. Now, Doom has definitely been on my radar for some time, and the only reason why I've kind of been hopping around this because I'm not a big first-person shooter person, but I finally got to play it, found the opportunity to dive into it, and man, this was probably the best way to start 2024. Like, the gameplay mechanics were pretty straightforward. Pick up the gun, use said gun to kill the demon, simple as that. There's not even any reloading in it. You just pick up the ammo, you just keep going. And the storyline for it, it's like not really the main focus here, And honestly, it was simple. It's like, you're the Doomslayer, you have to save Mars, and that was it. I think what really interested me was just kind of learning about the lore of the Doomslayer and kind of like what the demons were, what were the factions, all that stuff. I think another thing that really appealed to me is that this game didn't drag on unnecessarily. And that honestly works perfectly well for me, considering the type of gamer I'm kind of becoming, where games need to value my time, man. So yeah, no, I'm happy for that, honestly. I think I got like 13 hours of gameplay in here. I finished it at 13 hours. Definitely good. Now, on to the combat. Like I said before, it's like pick up gun, kill demon, simple as that, and like that's it. That's really what it is. Like, they did a really good job of making you feel like you were a badass and really powerful. Like, there were moments in this game where I was getting overrun by a bunch of demons and it felt like I was gonna die, but I somehow, some way I pulled off some weird maneuver that got me out of it and pulled out my super shotgun and just shot the demon in the face and just kept it pushing. It was so satisfying. I think the best mechanic in here is probably the glory kill mechanic, where essentially you weaken the enemies and they start blinking. You just walk up to them and do a melee, and depending on where you are in the enemy, whether in front of them, behind them, wherever, the Doomslayer does an animation that kills them instantly, and it's so satisfying. It's like the cherry on top of the gameplay. Also, I like the fact that the guns litter out throughout the game. Like, you never miss any. Like, that was like one fear I had with this game, is like I thought that I was gonna miss a bunch of guns that were just lying around. I thought it'd be like you walk into area, you get a new gun, and that new gun will be yours. But no, like, the guns and stuff are just littered throughout the game. You'll never miss them. If you do, then you must not be looking. So yeah, no, I really did love this game. I think I'm definitely going to be diving into Doom Eternal. Hopefully Doom Eternal is just as good as its predecessor. Alright, next game I got on the list, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. So now, after enduring what felt like an eternity of waiting, 8 years to be exact, I finally got my hands on this game, and it really did surprise me. Even though this game took an eternity to come out, it's really good. Like, despite the widespread label of it being kind of like a JRPG, I don't feel like it's a JRPG, since I think it's missing some JRPG elements. But regardless, even if it doesn't quit that mold, the storytelling and gameplay are pretty good, honestly. It's not like not a 10 out of 10 or anything like that, but it's decent enough to where you can follow it. And honestly, diving into her story, I really digged it as it respected my time. Like, most RPGs drag you through extensive character arcs and plot setups, and sometimes those are good, but if it's not done right, it just fizzles out sometimes and just becomes this boring thing. Well, in here, it's not like that. In Grand Blue Fantasy pretty much hits the ground running. Essentially, there's an established world, a universe, and you can learn about these characters in these little mini movie things they got going on, where it's like all audio files. They kind of learn how the gang met all the characters in there. And honestly, it's like, you don't really need prior knowledge to enjoy this game. Like, the moment you play the game, you just hit the ground running. It just keeps going, just keeps better, gets getting better. Like, it's a simple, like, when it comes to the story, it's honestly a simple good versus evil setup. But it's the epic set pieces that really steal the show. Like, each chapter I kept going into, I was like, how are they gonna up it? How are they gonna up it? And they just keep upping it and upping it and upping it. And I was just on the edge of my seat the whole time, just amazed about what they were doing. Now, when it comes to the gameplay, this shit's addicting, man. It's like someone mixed Monster Hunter with some basic action RPG elements, and legit, it's just gaming bliss. Like I keep hearing people comparing it to the combat of Tales of Arise, and honestly I don't see it totally, but now I'm thinking about it as I'm kind of like reading this script, I can kind of see it, but not as much. But for me, I really enjoy the gameplay because all the characters in the game are really unique, and you can kind of customize them in a way that allows you to play the game the way you want to. So I definitely look forward to playing more of the characters. Like right now my mains are Narmaya and Fairy, and those characters are really fun. Now technically I haven't finished the game yet. There's still tons of in-game content waiting for me to explore, but with my backlog pretty much full and FF7 Rebirth keeps calling my name, I'm probably have to put this on the back burner for a bit. I think Grand Blue Fantasy is probably just going to be my chill game that I dive in once in a while, kind of the grind, and have a lot of fun with it. But yeah, that's about covers the games I've played so far this year. If you enjoy me rambling, drop a like and subscribe, as I'm going to be doing this every 3 months or so. Also, I want to hear what games you're currently playing. Maybe I'll add it to my never-ending backlog. Alright guys,